All right, quick walkthrough of this bathroom that we just completed. Apologies in advance, there are a lot of mirrors in here, so you'll be seeing a little bit of me. But maybe I can just give you the once over real quick and then I can talk to you about some of the details. We have a variety of different types of cabinetry and architectural millwork, so I thought it was a good opportunity to provide a little sampling of some of the stuff we've been working on this past year. So we have some built-in cabinetry over here, lots of drawers. As you can see, the species of wood is hickory. Everything is grain matched. So the grain starts up here, the ceiling, comes down, and you can see it's matched all the way through. You can see it here in this cathedral. And even the hardware itself, this is the handle so you can open, everything is matched. Over here into the toilet area, a little more cabinetry. See if I can back up a little. And pocket door. Slow close hardware within the header here. Head out this direction, same type of grain matching on this linear vanity that I was mentioning here. So you can see it's the same tree where all this came from. And behind me, we have a shower. And you'll notice a lot of these architectural features in here that are almost partition-like. So the way that we built those, obviously this is a bathroom, high humidity, water all over the place. We want to make sure that all this wood stays in the same place where we want it to, right? And so the way that we built these structures is by using a product called CombiCore. So you can see this is Baltic birch and MDF kind of made into a sandwich. Those are two pieces sandwiched together. And then on the front of it, we veneered it with our hickory veneer. Of course, they save the nicest part of the tree for the veneer. So you see this is clear, uniform hickory veneer. And so essentially we built a lot of these and some other shapes and constructed, and you can see there's veneer all the way in the back on all these as well, but we used these to construct and then sheeted the entire thing with veneer several times to get these features. So we had a few different types of, as I mentioned here, cabinetry and millwork, so I thought it might be a good opportunity to give you a quick sampling of, like I said, the stuff that we've been working on. All right, so same project, but a different part of the house. We've designed and built this bench for the homeowner. So we are standing in the main entranceway to the home, and what they were looking for was a place to sit down, take off your shoes, and also hang up your jacket. But we didn't really want a piece of furniture to take up space on the floor here. So what we've come up with is this kind of cascading bench that comes down the wall and then out, but without structure underneath it. This is about 12 feet or so coming down the wall. And I actually have a few samples here that I can show you to kind of help understand how we built it. So this larger piece here is a smaller segment of the bench over there. And so what you can see here are 8 layers of Baltic birch. And those layers are alternated at 90 degrees each with glue in between. So what I don't have here is a giant press that we use to press from the top and the bottom, about a 200-pound piece on the top and the bottom that presses out this shape. And once it's glued and you take it out of the form, this is what you end up with. And then you just recreate that until you have enough segments to give you what is probably in this case about a 4-foot wide bench. Now on the edges of the bench, you don't want the Baltic birch exposed necessarily, in this case at least. And so we just repeated the process with our finished species of wood, which is in this case alder. So if you see here, you can see those same layers using alder, and this is what's used for the finished edge. Most of the bench is built using Baltic birch because it's so stable and it's not going to move. But what you see is alder. Once that's in place, we can put this sheet of alder clear uniform veneer over the entire thing. And then of course we can radius off the edges to give us our 1-inch radius, which I can show you. And then we just turned a few alder hardwood dowels here for the places to hang your jacket. And so if we come in here, we can see this is a 1-inch radius edge. Of course, the alder veneer. And then our radius here. The whole thing is then sprayed with about 8 to 10 coats of 2K poly to make sure it's super durable. It can get wet, it can take a lot of abuse. And I'll also tell you, you're not gonna be able to tell, but if I were to come over here and sit on this or even stand on it, which I've done, this has no deflection in it. It doesn't move at all. It's completely solid. We played around with a few different depths and settled on this. This is about 20 inches deep, and you can see it curves up before it then curves back down. So your body naturally kind of sits right there.